Welcome back to Mac Talks Football, and it's match day 19 in the Bundesliga, and the league is really hitting it up right now. I mean, it is so tight for every position. There's just a 4-point difference at the top between Leverkusen and Bayern Munich. There's a 9-point gap between Bayern Munich and Frankfurt, so you can say that they are still in mid shot for that title challenge. But I think it is looking really hard at the moment. Then the European places like from a fourth with RB Leipzig till right at the at 11th position with Mönchengladbach. It's just 8 points between all those teams. So and every weekend, with the results, the standings of all these teams keep on changing, and then you come right at the bottom from 14 till 18. The last 5 teams, 7 points between them. So for that relegation battle as well. So every game is mattering at the moment. After every weekend, the table shifts completely, and it is really exciting. So we are gonna go ahead and make our predictions for match day 19. The first game, it is Holstein Kiel versus Wolfsburg. Wolfsburg, they played a really good game against Bayern Munich. It is 7th versus 17th as well. At the game ended 3-2. I think Wolfsburg were very unlucky in that game not to get anything out of that game, if I'm being quite honest with you, because they pushed Bayern to the limit and they played really good football. And they are playing against the Holstein side who lost to Hoffenheim at 3-1. They played quite a good game, but I think Hoffenheim was just a bit better as compared to Wolfsburg and as compared to Holstein Kiel, unfortunately. And I think they are gonna, unfortunately for Holstein, they are gonna suffer another defeat. I think Wolfsburg, with the way that they are playing, I think they are gonna win this game quite comfortably. I'm going for a 2-0 win for Wolfsburg. Up next, it's Mainz versus Stuttgart. It is 6th versus 4th. There's 4 points difference between these two teams. Mainz, they have won 3 out of their last 5 games, but their last 2 games since coming back to the Christmas break, both of them have been defeats. Stuttgart, on the other hand, 4 wins out of the possible 5. Last 3 games have been consecutive wins, so they are coming into this game with a lot of confidence, and I think it is going to be quite a good game of football. It is going to be a hard-fought game, but I think somehow Stuttgart are going to somehow nick it. It could quite easily end up in a draw, but I just feel with the way that Stuttgart have played and the confidence that they have, I think they are going to nick it. I'm going for a very close, hard-fought 2-1 win for Stuttgart. Moving on, it's a big game. It is Leipzig versus Leverkusen. It is a 3rd versus a 5th. 5th versus 3rd. Leipzig are now 10 points behind Leverkusen. They were the team who defeated Leverkusen for the first time in over a year in the Bundesliga this season. When they met early on in the season, so they would have that much sort of a confidence going into this game. But Leipzig form has not been that good. They are basically out of the title race, to be very honest with you. They won in the Champions League. That was their first win of the tournament, so at least they are coming in with with a good confidence. Leverkusen, on the other hand, they are playing really good football. They've been amazing. The way that they have come back into the title picture is really commendable. They lost against Atletico Madrid in their Champions League game, so I think that could play on their minds as well. But I'm expecting quite a good game, and I am expecting goals in this game, and I seriously think Leverkusen are gonna take their revenge in this game. I'm expecting quite a high tempo game, and I'm expecting, as I said, a lot of goals. But I think in the end, Leverkusen are gonna win. I'm going for a 4-2 win for Bayer Leverkusen. Moving on, it is Augsburg versus Heidenheim. It is 12th versus 16th. Now, Augsburg, they have not had a really good season, but since coming back from the Christmas break, they have won both of their games in the league, so they are coming into this game with a lot of confidence. Heidenheim, they fell back into the bottom 3 this weekend after they drew their game over the weekend. So they are really struggling, and I think the way that they are playing at the moment, I think it's going to be another tough game for them. Augsburg are one of those 2 teams along with Union Berlin who are not in contention for European places. They are not at a threat of a relegation at the moment. So I think they're not playing with that much pressure, if I'm being very honest with you. Heidenheim, on the other hand, they have quite a bit of pressure on them. They need to get out of this relegation scrap, but I don't think they are going to be able to do this in this game. I think Augsburg are going to continue their winning run, and they are going to win it, and I think it's going to be a comfortable win for them as well. I'm going for a 2-0 win for Augsburg. Up next is Freiburg versus Bayern Munich. It is 8th versus 1st. Freiburg are still in the in that race to get back into those European places. They are fighting to get into those European places. That they are 8th, but they are just 1 point behind to a 6th place Mainz. So they know that this game is a very important game for them. Bayern Munich, on the other hand, by the time they play this game, oh sorry, they are playing at the same time with Leverkusen, so they really don't know what is going to happen, so they cannot really afford to drop points at the moment. Leverkusen are right on their tail, and I think they are going to be under a lot of pressure after, especially after what happened midweek in the Champions League. The way they were, they lost to a final, that is going to be on the players' mind as well. This game could completely go either two ways. Either Bayern Munich continue with that. I mean, they had 30 shots on goal in their game against Bayern Munich, but they were unable to score a goal. Either that could play in their, on their minds negatively, or they could come into this game with a lot more anger and trying to take it out on a Freiburg, and they're going to demolish Freiburg. I think I'm really not sure which side to go on. I think it could be a mixture of both of those, if I'm being very honest with you. I just feel that Bayern Munich are going to draw points in this game. I don't think Freiburg are going to win, but I think they are going to draw points. And I think we are going to see goals in this game. I'm going for a 2-2 draw between Freiburg and Bayern Munich. Up next, it's a Dortmund versus Werder Bremen. It is 10th versus 9th. Both these teams are coming to this game in quite a bad form. There's just 1 point difference between them. Bremen are a point ahead of them. Their last 3 games, Dortmund have lost all 3, and Bremen have lost twice and drawn 1. And that's the only point. That is the reason that they are not level on points. I don't know what has happened to Borussia Dortmund. I like it. They are all over the place. They are just not able to win any games. They lost midweek in the Champions League as well against Bologna team, who are basically out of the tournament. It didn't really matter to them, and Dortmund were just not able to play good football against them as well. They are playing a Bremen side who themselves they are, as I say, they are in contention for those European places, so they have something to play for. Dortmund have to play as well. It is a big game. I think Norris Sahin and Dortmund have to win this game. There is no other question about it. They just have to win this game, but I don't think they are going to win it. I think Bremen are going to take points from them. Bremen themselves, they are not in a good form, so like it's a game between two teams who are not playing good who are playing good football, but they're just not able to get anything out of it. And I think in this game it's going to be like that. I think it's going to be a draw, and it is going to be quite a cagey affair, if I'm being very honest with you. I'm going for a 1-0 draw between Borussia Dortmund and Werder Bremen. Then it's Borussia Mönchengladbach versus Bochum. It is 11th versus 18th. And now Gladbach, they have a big chance to get this win, and they can overtake 2-3 teams who are above them and get in a better position for to qualify for those European places. As I said, the league for those the fight for those European places is so tight at the moment, and Borussia every weekend one team gets an advantage and other team gets out of here, supposedly gets out of the race. So it is Gladbach have this weekend have a chance to get 3 points. They are playing against a Bochum side who are at the bottom of the table. But if you look at Bochum's form, out of the last 5 games, it just has been 1 defeat. They have won twice, they have drawn twice, so they have the maximum. Out of the 10 points they have, the 8 points have come in their last 5 games. So they are in a sort of a good form. But they are going away to Gladbach, and I really think Gladbach at home are a really tough opposition, especially for a team like Bochum, who have not been that good away from home. I think it could turn out to be a very close game, but I think Gladbach are gonna in the end they are gonna win it quite comfortably as well. I'm going for a 3-1 win for Borussia Mönchengladbach. Then it's Hoffenheim versus Frankfurt. It is 15th versus 3rd. Hoffenheim finally won a game after like almost a month and a half. Last weekend it was against Holstein Kiel. It was a big win for them. They really needed that. They won that game and they came out of the bottom 3. They are now 15 in the table, and they would hope that they can continue that winning run. Unfortunately for them, they are playing against a Frankfurt side who are looking really good. 3 wins on the trot, and they're sort of back in the title race. I keep on saying sort of because it's like it's a 9-point gap between them and Bayern Munich, and then it's a 5-point gap between them and Leverkusen. So anything can happen. A couple of bad results for the teams above them, and Frankfurt can take advantage of that. And if you are a Frankfurt fan, if you are a Frankfurt player, and your main focus should be just win your games and see what happens, because already they are having a great season, because nobody really thought that Frankfurt were going to do this, and the big question mark of Umar Marmoush is hanging on everybody's head. I am quite disappointed that he's going, and I'm even more disappointed that he's going to Manchester City, because I really don't think he's going to be able to shine and replicate. Not because he's not a great player, just because I've seen this story multiple times. A great player at a small club having a great season goes to Manchester City and he disappears. So I just hope it doesn't happen to Marmoush, but it is looking likely he's gonna go. So I think it's going to be quite interesting to see how Frankfurt cope without him in this game. I think it's going to be easy for them. They are going to get the win, and they are going to get the win easily as well. I'm going for a 3-0 win for Frankfurt. And the last game of the weekend in Bundesliga this week is St. Pauli versus Union Berlin. It is 14th versus 13th. It's just a 3-point difference between both these teams. Now St. Pauli, if they win this, they could really create a gap between them and the teams below them, just like Union Berlin did last weekend. So it's a big chance for St. Pauli to do that. But they are playing at home. I think this is so surprising. Usually when the teams who come from the bottom division, they come into the big division, their home team home form is the main thing that sort of keeps them home. But St. Pauli are the opposite of that, because their away form is better. They play better away at home, and their home's form has been quite atrocious. So they are playing at home, and that is why I don't think they are going to win this game. I think it will be a close game. I don't think they are going to be goals in this game. I think it might turn out to be quite a boring game, if I'm being very honest with you. I'm going for a 0-0 draw between St. Pauli and Union Berlin. And with that, my predictions for match day 19 of the Bundesliga are complete. We'll see how many of them are correct and how many of them are wrong at the end of the weekend. Let me know what you think of my predictions in the comment section below, and make your own predictions as well. Like the video, share it as well, click on the notification bell, and of course subscribe to the channel. We are trying to get to 500 subscribers as quickly as possible, so please go ahead and subscribe and help the channel out. Until next time, bye bye.